Everybody, what's going on? This is Bevo, and you are watching our second episode of UpRooted. This is a Greenwood Grove production where we're taking a little time out to work with and interview local organizations around the Pinellas County area. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Chantala Simmons. She is the founder of A Mother's Arms. A Mother's Arms is a advocacy group for at-risk mothers and children. So with no further ado, I'll let Shant introduce herself. And Shant, let's just jump into this conversation. I know a little bit about you since we've been friends over this last couple years or so, but I want to introduce the rest of the world to you and you to the rest of the world and find out a little bit about what's going on with A Mother's Arms and where you are now and where you're going in the future. So introduce yourself to the people, please.
Chantala Simmons, like Bryan said, I am the founder of A Mother's Arms. A Mother's Arms meaning arriving to relieve a mother under stress. Basically, my program was developed to try to reduce child abuse and prevent death. Our mission is to help the mothers and come to the aid of mothers that are stressed out and try to keep them from abusing their child or, killing them. It's dedicated to baby Jordan Bellevue, which is a little 2-year-old boy that was killed out there in Largo by the hands of his, young mother. So it is dedicated to him and all of our God's angels that are no longer with us. We're providing an environment that offers accommodations to assist the parents with respite relief. You just sign up to be in my program, and as long as you're participating and doing all the various programs that we offer, which is all about empowerment. It's nothing bad. It's not going to be anything boring. It's going to be information that gives you good, strong life skills, really teach you how to be a strong parent, a strong mother, a strong woman, and let me not discriminate, because if there are some single dads out there and if they need assistance, they can also join the program. And in return, I am going to give you 3 hours of respite relief, meaning you get to bring your child to me and I watch your child for 3 hours and you go do whatever you want. If you want to be like Bevo and sit there and drink a cup of coffee for 3 hours, you can do that. And your child will be in care at my location until you return, but you must participate in the program.
That's right.
So
awesome. I will say 3 hours of coffee drinking though, and I don't know if I'll be able to pick my kids back up after that point. Be driving around the front yard in circles after that point. Be hyped up for sure.
Yes.
So, Ken, you gave us a brief outline about some of the things that you're looking to do with A Mother's Arms, but I want to hear about some of your goals, your desires with the company, and how have they changed, if at all, post or in the middle of coronavirus, COVID-19? What were your goals before, and what are you looking for? What are those goals changing into, moving into the future?
Well, we were in full locomotion as far as moving forward daily on, doing something, whether it was collaborating with other organizations. I just developed a program in 2018. It took a year to get it promoted and get it out there. So we took 18 and 19 and we promoted. We reached out to other community organizers and, organizations, let them know who we are, what we're providing, listening to the cries of mothers, getting up ideas and everything. And I basically took that year just to collaborate with a lot of others doing different events, and giving back to the community. And we were also building up our sponsors, building up with people giving us donations, and really getting everything on the roll with getting up and running how we wanted to do, because by now I should have started my program, but because of COVID, that has slowed the process down. Of course, we can't have any contact to contact. So I can't do any respite care. I can't have any of the empowerment classes or anything like that. But it's giving me time to tweak things, learn more information. It's giving me time to find the grants and go ahead and get that in motion, because that hasn't stopped. They're just doing the grants online. So you have to apply online. So that's still in process. It's giving me a chance to get my buildings insured, and figure out how I want everything to go. So it's pros and cons to it. I did go ahead, though. I do have 5 mothers that are piloting my program right now. So they are actually going through my curriculum, and I meet with them once a week. We speak and talk about the items that are in the curriculum, all the information, their thoughts, their understanding to it, and everything. So I am keeping going and staying positive, because by the time COVID is done and over with, we should be ready to go ahead and get to flowing. So I didn't want to stop.
Right.
I want to take some positives away, instead of everyone's like, oh my God, everything is shutting down. We can't get nowhere. We can't do anything. Yeah, you can. You just have to sit down. This is your time to take that moment to go ahead and get everything in order, because it's hectic when you are in full mode. So right now you're able to concentrate and say, okay, no, I probably need to do this. Good thing I need to change this. I need to tweak this a little better. But again, I have a pilot program going on right now that's going to let me know
So
how it's going to turn out.
it hasn't sat you down completely. You've actually used this time almost as a blessing, or a time of like rest,
exactly,
to kind of learn things differently. And like this platform, do you use platforms like Zoom to have your conversations with your pilot program right now, or how are you communicating
or FaceTime?
Okay.
Or either FaceTime, So, because of course we can't, meet up or anything like that, but I want to be able to still get the material out there.
Absolutely.
And also too, just to let the parents know that even though we can't have face-to-face contact, you can't open up right now, I'm still here for like emergencies. Like if you are really like losing your mind and you may hurt yourself or you may hurt the children, still call me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that face. I'll mask up and I'll get the children, and you mask up and you go and take you a break.
I like that. So talk to me specifically about some of the things that you've been doing leading up to this point and looking forward into the future. So you have your pilot program. What does that what does that look like with regard to other women?
Basically, I have a curriculum. My program is a 8 weeks program.
Okay.
So it has curriculum each week. You'll have a different subject to work on, for us to discuss, to talk about. Again, my program is called Embrace Change. And basically, when you come to a mother's arms, you're coming to the ER room. You're coming to the emergency room, but it's EER. And the reason why I say EER is because it's examination, elimination, and recreation.
Yeah.
So you're coming here, you're going to examine everything about you, learn things that you just wouldn't have normally paid attention to. Why do you think the way you think? Why do you do the things that you do? Okay, once you really go head on and learn those things and see that and you're aware, then you're going to be like, okay, it's time to eliminate some things, because there are some things that we've picked up throughout our lives that are negative. Not that we intentionally picked it up. We may have been taught it, but it may have been something our parents taught us because that's what they were taught. Not necessarily that it was right, but it's all they knew. They taught us what they knew. So therefore now what they taught us, we're doing it and we're teaching, and it doesn't mean that it's right. Some things we learn, we need to unlearn and replace it. So that's where the elimination part comes in, and then the recreation. Mm-hmm. Now it's your new mindset. Everything starts in your mind. When you think about it, later on you're going to do it, right? You're going to process it and you're going to do it. So this is all about mind. It's this all to do with internal things. Once you learn and clean up the internal things, replace it with good and valuable things internally, you're going to have a better external outcome. So that's what we're going to be concentrating on.
I love that approach because, as you know, I love focusing on, and what's going on inside that internal story you're telling yourself, the way you're speaking to yourself just in your mind, and then what that looks like translating out. So my next question is, who are the people that you're working with outside of Greenwood Grove? Because we've done a couple of things together to kind of help out, and it's been a learning process for all of us, I think. So helping you out and watching you grow your organization, and us just recently starting the organization as well, kind of on the back end of that, and then deciding to help and help other organizations get awareness around their causes. Who are some of the other people that you're working with? Because it sounds like a lot of that self-talk and self-worth and all those things they're very much so psychological things. So are there doctors involved or therapists involved, or are those people you plan on making connections with in the future?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a lot of people that I have connected to that they want to volunteer. Some of them are mental health counselors. They come from all aspects of life. I mean, I have pastors. I have the organizations. I have Black Nurses Association that I'll probably be working with. I have a lot of different facilitators that deal with anger management, self-control. I mean, I have at least 30 plus volunteers of people from all aspects of the health field, to being in the military, to teachers, to other social workers, to child care providers. I have a lot of people that want to volunteer because everyone is saying that, yeah, this is something that's greatly needed. And I heard the cries of the young women. Right. You hear the cry all the time. You hear them. I mean, even older ones, because I say it too. I need a break. I just need a break. And that's what I get from a lot of women. Excuse me, stop it. That's what I get from a lot of women. They see what I mean? I need a break. Yeah.
You need a break from giving everybody else a break.
Yeah. You didn't see what I posted the other day? I said, I'd be glad when my program starts so I can sign up.
Right. That's always so true. Like the people working in these industries, us in these industries, giving relief to other people, or like myself, helping guide people through their process of finding their story. A lot of the time, we need help, just like everybody else.
Exactly. So. And then I understand it because, I was a young parent, what I'm saying, a single mom, you know what I mean? I understand, that aspect, as well as getting older in my life and becoming a single parent again, you know what I mean? So I've experienced it. So no one can say, well, I don't understand. I definitely understand, plus having my daughter with my 2 grandkids and seeing the frustration in her and watching her. And really, honestly and truly, another lesson that I have learned since COVID and being home with a 13-year-old and a 2-year-old all day, every day. Yeah, I feel them.
Yeah,
I feel them. I really honestly do feel them. It's like you can't talk about anything that you haven't experienced. You know what I mean?
And your sanity level won't be 100% day in and day out. You will need some relief at some point.
Exactly.
And everybody at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. And people should understand that right about now.
You're right.
And just to think about it, there's a lot of people like, oh, well, they had the children, I had to do it. I understand all of that. But at the same time, right now, with you being home with your children all day, every day,
right, you
should appreciate those teachers.
Right.
You should appreciate those child care providers.
Right.
You should appreciate grandma. You got to definitely appreciate it now, because you truly will understand a woman that's home with children all day, every day, or she's going out and she's going to work and then she's coming home and she has to deal with the children all day by herself, make all decisions by herself. Mm-hmm. It is hard, so I truly understand. I understand their cries.
Definitely goes off to all the single mothers. Anyway, before, during, and after this situation, because of the fact that it is a lot of work, and it's definitely special work, and the people who can survive that mindset, I could tell you, it's not for the weak at all.
Yes.
You talked about some resources you have already with regards to mental health professionals and pastors and teachers and all these people that you have at your disposal who are ready to work and ready to start helping you build this organization. What are some of the things that you've identified that you need moving forward?
As far as the
Just
help within the
resources in general, whether that be tangible ones where it's funding, or you need specific people to do certain things, or it's just more like you talked about earlier, you need to learn more things to be able to understand what's going to happen on the other side of this thing. So resources in general.
Yeah. Well, like I said, grant writing definitely. I definitely need a good grant writer. I mean, I have one, but it's always good to have multiple because grants are going on a lot right now, and they're like coming back to back with deadline dates. So I'm trying to reach out and get that, and I'm not a grant writer, you know. And then for someone to be working on one, and then another one comes out, and you want to get it before. So I definitely need grant writers because if I get the income coming in, of course, that it makes it much easier. Sponsors, I'm always looking for sponsors, donations. Um, I'm still in the process of getting my buildings up and running. So I'm needing anyone that knows how to do plumbing right now, because to have that plumbing line connected to my house is going to run like $5,000. You know,
Right.
no big deal. You know, I got that on the tree back there in the backyard. I could just pull it right off. You know what I mean? I want to transform my backyard into a nice play area.
Okay.
So I need someone who knows how to do, you know, that type of work, landscaping. Anyone that wants to donate any office supplies and things like that. Volunteers are always welcome because I would definitely need those. I'm basically going to be showing them that my organization, until it gets huge, because it's going to get huge. I claim that in the name of Jesus, and it's going to be from here to Largo to St. Pete to Tampa, because it is needed, and I know it's going to be an excellent program. But with me starting off small, I think that you know, a lot of people will look at that as being something negative. I don't, because in my eyesight, I'm starting small to show you exactly how it's going to work and what I can do on a budget.
Right.
What I can do with just a few dollars here and there compared to somebody getting a $250,000 funding, you know, for their program. I don't need all that. I'm going to show you what bringing a village, because that's what I'm bringing, the village effect. Right. When I bring this village, which meaning my people and the community and everyone around helping each other, I'm going to show you how to work it on very minimum amount of dollars. I don't need all that kind of money to give help to the mother and children that need it. You know what I mean? And then you're going to want to duplicate my program.
No doubt that you'll grow it to be as big as it needs to be. And primarily because of your passion and your excitement around it. Every time I talk to you about this specific issue, or every time we meet up, it's always interesting because when you're in that first couple of stages in your business, everything is almost like everything you're talking about, you're thinking about, you're doing about is about your business. So
yes,
in any way, shape, or form, anytime we ever meet, we always end up talking about your business, my business, whatever.
Yeah.
And how to make it better. A couple more questions. Where or what advice would you have, even though you're still in this infancy stage, this growing, this baby stage right now, what advice do you have for anyone else who has an idea, a thought, some sort of a process of wanting to start how you did and grow an organization, a meaningful one? What advice do you have for that person?
Just to stay strong in being positive and believing in themselves and continuing to go on, because you're going to run into stuff that's going to make you so tired, angry. You're going to feel like you're in it alone. Sometimes you are going to be in it alone. I burn the midnight oil plenty of nights. I'm up till 2 and 3 in the morning, you know, and was still getting up, going to my regular job, getting up at 6 a.m. you know, and then I'm working all day, and then I come home. I still have a house with children, so I still got to cook, clean, wash, do homework, give baths, you know, all of that stuff on top of doing this. But drive, push yourself, you know what I mean? Stay positive, talk to yourself, always listen to something inspirational, whether it be talking to somebody that can motivate you, or listening to something motivational, you know, talking to God, doing something that can keep you going each and every day. It's just like you're eating a meal every day. You got to eat something that's good for you every day to keep your mind right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Feed your mind, not just your body. Feed your mind.
It's a reason they call it a practice, because you have to do it on a daily basis, whether it's a spiritual practice, a religious practice, a health practice. You have to do it every day, because every day it throws us all different challenges,
Exactly,
different things to experience. And throughout the course of the day, it's minute by minute sometimes. You know, sometimes everything's falling apart, and then 10 minutes later, you're on top of the world. So it is this continuous chain of making sure you're taking care of yourself in the process as well. So if you are burning that midnight oil, try to catch up on some sleep on the weekend.
Definitely.
But you're eating right. You know what I mean? So
you must take mental breaks.
Right,
you have to take breaks. I mean, absolutely. I was going at first, and then I was just like, okay, let's step back, slow it down. You know, you can't have a mental breakdown yourself, and you're trying to help someone else. You know what I mean? And you're right.
Do you have your process documented, so those days where you take a mental break, somebody can pick up and keep moving with your objective the next day?
That's one thing I don't have, and that's one thing I wish I did have. I mean, I do have a board. You know, I do have a board, but as far as my main things that I'm working on right now, it's just me. You know, so my fiance, he does help me. He helps me a very, very large amount of stuff that he does, but some things he can't touch. You know what I mean? So I have to do it myself. Now, if I have somebody that voluntarily wanted to come on board and say, well, what is it you need me to do? And I said, okay, I need you to get this mailed out for me. I need you to do this and that. It would help me. I'm not the type of person that does not know how to delegate. Right. You know how people get a whole bunch of stuff, but they don't want nobody else to touch it because they think that they're not going to do it right. Right. They may not do it the way that you do it, but it can be done in their capacity. So you have to learn to dedicate some, dedicate some things to someone else if they're willing to help you. And I don't have any problem with that. Anybody want to help me, please?
Well, that's what we're focusing on. We're going to make sure to get this word out and get some attention on these causes. That's the number one goal for Greenwood Grove, from my perspective anyway, is to make sure we get awareness around these causes. But I will encourage you, in this time while you're learning all these other things, and I've had to do this myself, I didn't really see clarity into my business until I sat down and wrote down what it is that I do from the time I get up to the time I go back to sleep. Yeah. And you will get so much clarity, because you can then see what you can give off to somebody and what you can focus on and keep continually bringing yourself to the table, and the things that you can spread around and give off to other people. So I will encourage you, while we have this opportunity, just to document what your day looks like from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep with regard to your business, and it will clarify a lot of things for you. Yeah. And as long as you get a little, you know how you're somebody that feels like you have to do something every day, or you don't feel like you got anything done. Yeah. I had to make myself say, okay, if I made one phone call, or I wrote down one idea, I worked on it, and I'm good. Now it's time to go do family time or sit down, because you can't forget about your other life while you're at it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm learning. And I appreciate that last remark, because of the fact that I enjoy the fact that how I think about my business and how I respond to my friends and how my relationships are personally and intimately, they're all kind of the same thing, right? I take breaks in between each one of those things, but I make sure that my life ain't sloppy over here, and then I'm over here building these big things over here, right? So I try to make sure that even if it might not all be rising at the same time, but I'm trying to pay attention to all of my relationships at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss out on life,
Right.
working on this. I got to make balance.
Yeah.
You got to balance everything.
Absolutely. So, last question, probably the trickiest question. It's the question I asked Miranda last week. What's the coolest thing you learned this week thus far?
Coolest thing I've learned this week thus far? Probably learning how to do things around the house with my family, not being able to go anywhere, just learning different things to do with them. It's like you have ideas when you're running around crazy, and then you tell yourself, but I ain't got time for it. I don't have time. Now I got all the time in the world to spend with family. You know what I mean? So I did post it to my A Mother's Arms webpage, and just giving like a few ideas of what can you do around the house with your family, and I'm like, okay, which we have started. We have a garden that we started, but it's actually a Tinkerbell garden. So we have all these little whatnots of little Tinkerbells. They're either on the little seesaw thing, or they have little bridges and campers and little trees and bird nests. So we've made a Tinkerbell garden in front of the house. So I think that's like one of the coolest things. And we've had karaoke night here at the house, and I've had to TikTok, is that what it's called? TikTok dance with the children, and they caught me when I was on a few drinks. I don't know how that TikTok turned out.
It probably ticked and then talked.
That part. Or we'll sit here and play I Spy. Remember I Spy?
Yeah.
Now, the I Spy something red. Just figuring out things to do with the children to kill the time. To make them tired. Can't go in. I mean, we can go somewhere, but I don't want to go. I don't want to be around anybody, so I'm good with being home, but it's just interesting with just trying. And then I'm actually learning a little more about my children and my grandkids than I did before, because I'm around them all the time now. So I get to pay attention and be like, wonder where she get that from? Who did she learn that? Oh, she acts like it, so it's been interesting. It's been interesting.
That's really cool.
Bar has to stay full, but it's been interesting.
And you just have to adapt to these things. What's up, Missing Gang? She's going to get a tiny pizza out of the oven or something. But yeah, so Chant, thank you very much for jumping on with me. I really enjoy doing these things, especially with people that I like and love at the same time. And I can always talk about these issues day in, day out. As you already know, I'm always willing to politic and brainstorm about how to make all these things better. So thank you for taking the time today.
That's Bevo.
Oh man, I appreciate everybody.
One more thing too. I have about 10 bags.
Okay.
And they're called my just a bag of love or whatnot. I have a bag for a mom that has maybe a single little one, maybe 8 and younger in the household.
Okay.
But I have a bag that I would like to give to like 10 single moms that it has, just little things like coloring books. It has puzzle books for the mom, a crossword puzzle.
Okay.
It has a roll of toilet paper. It has a roll of paper towels in it. It has foot rub, just different, a little package, just a little love package from A Mother's Arms for a mom to, be in the house with their child, coloring, piecing together a puzzle, reading a book, massaging her own feet, maybe massaging her baby's feet or whatever. So I have a little bag of love for 10 women who would like to.
Are you going to post that on your site, or we can post it on Greenwood Grove as well? So
you can post it on Greenwood Grove as well. So
let me know.
They reach out to me. I got them for them. It's just something that I want to, again, let them know A Mother's Arms is here. We love the mothers. We love the children. We love the single fathers, grandmothers, No discrimination to anybody who wants to participate in the program.
Right.
And but we like to give back as usual, like we always do. So.
All right. Well, let us know where to find you online right now.
amothersarms.org, or you can even give me a call, 727-815-6399.
All right. Chant, again, thank you very much. Love you to death. And
love you too.
We will end this episode on a good note. And
always.
Tune in next week, actually. I think we're going to have Sarah Davis on from Signature Graphics.
All right, my girl.
She's next up. She gave me a call last week and wanted to be on. So I'm excited that people are actually down for doing this. So if you know anybody, let me know. We'll put them on the roster, and I'll be doing this next Thursday and posting either tomorrow or on Saturday.
Definitely.
With that being said, you have watched our second episode of UpRooted, a Greenwood Grove production. I'm Bevo, Bryan Voliton. We just interviewed Chantala Simmons. Thank y'all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.